Hi readers, Lee here. Welcome back to my channel, Lila Wanders and Reads, and welcome to my week in books. I thought I would do something a little bit different today and take it outside because it's a beautiful day. My hair is not beautiful. I just chunked it up there. Anywho, get ready for this, folks. Gasp. This week I've only completed one book. That's one book from start to finish. That book was The Holiday Honeymoon Switch, which I'll get to in a minute. And, hold on, I realized I do have glasses out here, but they are way over there. Anywho, so I started the week reading Jane Eyre, and I am still reading Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, but this is a much slower read. I've been reading for a week, and I am about that much, I've got about that much left. This is a 600-page book, and it just takes me so long. It took me 3 days to read 150 pages, and I did not read any yesterday, but I do hope to finish by this time next week, God willing. So, very good book, just a slower read, and I actually had to put it to my read early and not read all night because I needed to feed my addiction in a more gratifying way. So, at the same time, I started reading Janet Dailey's Illusions. I read this because last week I read The Sound of Sleigh Bells by Janet Dailey, and I thought I have found some things out that I'm gonna do a separate video on that we'll post on Wednesday about Janet Dailey and Janet Dailey, and a mystery-ish, some scandal known, and the differences between that book and this one. This one, and I'll save the critique for my Wednesday video, but this one I noped out of probably about the halfway mark. It was so bad. So bad. Let me read you the summary, though. Delaney Westcott, a beautiful security expert, is urgently summoned to New York after Lucas Wayne, a rock star turned movie star, is attacked and almost killed in his hotel room. His assailant is Rena Cole, a sultry sex siren actress and an old flame, who holds him responsible for her career's plummet. Delaney's first priority is to protect Lucas from Rena. As they head out to the breathtaking snow-capped mountains of Aspen, Colorado, Delaney figures that keeping Luke safe will be a straightforward case. I got hair on my lipstick. Sorry. Shit. Oh. But the situation is complicated by an anonymous Lucas Wayne fan, a woman who sends him 3 love letters a week, some with locks of hair, others with romantic presents. What, a lock of hair isn't a romantic present? Psh. And whose psychological profile is growing more disturbing by the minute. It isn't clear just who Lucas's enemies are. Focusing all her attention on her professional responsibilities, that's some bullshit. Delaney tries to ignore the fact that Aspen happens to be the hometown of the man who broke her heart. She does not try. When they finally meet again, he throws her for an unexpected loop. Just as Delaney begins to wonder whether she and Lucas might share more than a professional relationship. She started to wonder this really fucking quickly, by the way. And then, there's Riley, ruggedly handsome, and Delaney's partner and closest confidant. Could it be that he wants to be more than friends? We know he does. Before Delaney can decide, a horrendous crime is committed behind the Wayne estate, and fingers begin to point to Delaney herself. Has she been set up? Delaney suddenly finds herself fighting to prove her innocence, as well as trying to protect Lucas. With Riley's help, and her own sharp instincts, she discovers the truth, and a true love, hidden among many illusions. Ugh, this book was so It was really bad, folks. It was, I noped out it halfway. I thought, and this is true, there are plenty of writers today, I'm certain, who write as poorly as that. I don't read them. So why should I make myself suffer even if it is just for a video? I can't believe Janet Dailey made so much money and sold so many books when they were so fucking bad. And that's, let me be clear. This bad is very different from this bad. I stayed up late to finish this bad. Again, I'll talk to you more about that in next week's Week in Books. Okay, so when I realized that Illusions was not going to work for me, I decided I needed something light, and I'm still struggling apparently. October was a struggle month. Apparently November is going to be too, even though it looked up for a minute. So I picked up The Hollywood Honeymoon Switch by Julia McKay. I gave this 3 stars on Goodreads because I enjoyed half of it. That's 2.5 stars, rounded up to 3 because Goodreads does not let you do half stars. I enjoyed half of it. There's 2 characters, Holly and Ivy. I loved Holly. I could not care less about Ivy. They're best friends. I know Ivy wants what's best for her best friend, but I just didn't care about her. And so I would skim through her chapters, and this is something I usually love, chapters switching scene by scene, from point of views. And I usually love it, but I just didn't. This was just okay for me. I really need an okay book. I mean, a better than okay book, and I'm not sure if this is going to be it, because I picked this up without researching the author, and turns out A.J. Finn, according to the New Yorker, is quite the liar. He has lied about his past, about being either he or his mother being a cancer victim. I don't remember. I skimmed it last night. Anywho, right now I'm reading The Woman in the Window. What I will say for this is there are very short chapters, so that should keep the pace up, I hope. I just started it last night, but I started it almost immediately after I finished the holiday honeymoon switch. So usually when I start a book right after, I'm not very patient with it. So I'll try it again today and see what we think about it. I forgot to tell you about the Hollywood honeymoon switch. Let me back up a little bit. Sorry. We'll rewind. Okay. So, what's this about? Why did I give it three stars? Really 2.5? Holly Beach and Ivy Casey are bury the body besties. They're so in sync they even look alike. So when Holly's fiance jilts her, leaving her in shock and with a non-refundable honeymoon, Holly convinces Ivy to switch places. Ivy will go on the Hawaiian honeymoon her best friend can't bear to take alone, while Holly escapes to Ivy's rented Hudson Valley cabin to marathon holiday movies and heal. But Holly's wallowing is interrupted when her rugged Airbnb host turns out to be her high school academic rival who's had a major glow-up. Holly's ex-fiance... Meanwhile, Ivy's, now Hawaiian, annual solo art retreat is upended when Holly's ex-fiance checks into the honeymoon suite with a new woman. Dun dun dun. Raging and bedless, the last thing Ivy expects is for the hot hotel bartender to come to the restaurant rescue. Against all odds, this Christmas might prove the most magical yet. And I think this may be where I kind of had the issue. You know, I know that I have mixed feelings about the whole insta-love thing. It's necessary. You can't write a book that's any readable length and show love, evolving. But with Holly, who goes to this Airbnb and discovers she knows the guy from high school, it seems more realistic than Ivy running into some gorgeous bartender who's also a photographer, who also happens to have a place for her to rent since she can't stay in the hotel. And honestly, if you met a gorgeous bartender on vacation and he said, "Oh, come back to my place, I've got an apartment you can rent," would you? Maybe if you were 20. I don't know. She's in her late 20s. Come on, not that smart. Anywho, I just didn't connect with Ivy. I thought it was a little too much, the bartender thing. If she had just had a good time, but no, she ends up marrying him within the book. Sorry, not sorry for the spoiler. So, back to where we were. The Woman in the Window. This book reminds me so much of Rear Window, the Alfred Hitchcock film. I keep wanting to call her she, call him she, A.J. Finn, pen name, is also uses a quote from Shadow of a Doubt, also a Hitchcock film, which I watched last night. Fantastic. So I'm really torn on this one. They made this into a film. It's on Netflix. I am off the Netflix right now, so I'm not going to watch it. Not sure if I even want to watch it, because why watch that when I can watch Rear Window or something Hitchcock? There are a lot of old film references in here, and that's just from the first, couple chapters that I've read. Stephen King blurbed this. I don't always love everything Stephen King blurbs, but we'll give this a chance. Love Stephen King, but, I don't know how they work on the blurbs, how the blurbs work. Anyhow. Anna Fox lives alone, a recluse in her New York City home, unable to venture outside. She spends her days drinking wine, maybe too much. It's way too much. She's drinking it like this time of day. Watching old movies, recalling happier times, and spying on her neighbors. Then the Russells move into the house across the way. A father, a mother, their teenage son. The perfect family. But when Anna, gazing out her window one night, sees something she shouldn't, her world begins to crumble, and its shocking secrets are laid bare. What is real? What is imagined? Who is in danger? Who is in control? In this diabolically gripping thriller, no one and nothing is what it seems. So there is something going on here that I can tell right away. I've highlighted a couple things. I'm not sure what that thing is. I have a suspicion. My suspicion could be wrong, because I had a suspicion about the holiday honeymoon switch that I wrote down, and it was way off base. But we'll find out, and I'll let you know. Hopefully this will pick up. It has, I said mixed reviews, but the majority of them are 3-star and above, 3, 4, and 5-star, with a large number of 4-star and 3 stars. So, it could be just we all have our moments. So I'll let you know what I think about it. So that is it. Finally, that is not it. Finally, I am still reading, although I've kind of paused, The Madwoman in the Attic, which, by the way, this book I purchased because it fits the Madwoman in the Attic theme. Anna is not necessarily in an attic, but she's confined to her home looking out her window at the lives of the neighbors. So I'm going to call her the Madwoman in the Attic. Anyway, I'm still reading on this, but I did take a pause to prioritize Jane Eyre. This is a lot more difficult to read than Jane Eyre. Jane Eyre is good, it's just slower. This I have to really stop and concentrate, so I doubt I will finish it this month, but definitely finish it this year. Anywho, that is all. Very short video. I think it's a short video today. I don't know. But very few books. One book from start to finish. Oh, shit. Totes forgot one. And probably the most important one. This is not one I started. This is an audiobook. I'm not with it today. That I just finished less than an hour ago. It's Ghost Dogs on Killers and Kin by Andre Dubus III. Again, first of all, I apologize for being kind of all over the place today. I think the change of environment has kind of thrown me off my game, but it's good to switch it up. Anywho, so one of you guys recommended this to me. I don't remember the name right now. And I started it, and I guess I did not really realize this was a book of essays, personal essays, and not short stories, because I started off thinking it was a short story collection. And one of the stories in here is about him going down to Mexico as like a bounty hunter or something. So it really kind of fed into my belief that this was a short story collection. And it took me probably several more essays to realize it's not short stories, it's not fiction, it's based on his life. And while this is not going to go up into my best books of the year, but this is going to go up there. I gave it 4 stars. I ended up really loving this book once I kind of figured out what it was about. There are 3 stories that are really kind of heartwarming. Mary and Pappy and Ghost Dogs. Mary made me cry. Pappy touched my heart. Ghost Dogs made me tear up. So Andre Dubus III reminds me a little bit of Stephen King in his narration and in his writing style. He also reminds me of my mother. My mother loves Southern fiction. He's not from the South, but his parents' families are from Louisiana. And so he still has that kind of rhythm that my mom liked in Southern fiction, or Southern nonfiction, Southern writing. I don't know how to quite articulate this, but Andre Dubus III would write until I didn't like him, but keep writing until I came all the way back around and liked him anyway, or because of all that he revealed along the way. Ghost Dogs in particular was one of those stories. I just thought he was really awful in some of those glimpses that he gave of himself, and in earlier stories about a former girlfriend that he had who had come from a very rich family. He also revealed himself to be not very likable, but then he keeps writing and keeps writing, and you realize that he's revealed his humanity, and at his heart he's really a good person, but you know, we all have warts. Not a wart. This one passage I really just thought was very cute and very funny. This is in the story Pappy, and he is taking care of Pappy and Fern. Fern had an injury and could not walk without crutches, and Pappy had shingles, so they needed someone to take care of him, and it ended up being Andre. After lunch, I was shocked to learn that my grandparents sat in front of the TV and watched soap operas, 2 or 3 of them in a row. I had never watched them and felt above them in every way, but by the 3rd afternoon, overhearing them while making lunch in the kitchen, I found myself asking Fern and Pappy what Billy Joe did to be going to trial, and why his mother also seemed to be his aunt. And it was not long at all before I too was sitting there with my grandparents, watching our daily soap operas, each of us sipping a cup of hot black coffee. I just loved that. His writing, he has such a skill that it makes it come alive to me. I could see that scene. I was sitting there with Andre and Pappy and Fern watching Days of Our Lives or One Life to Live, or maybe both of them. Anywho, I definitely recommend this on audiobook. I have a problem with short stories or essays or reading them in physical form because I don't know why. But for audio, I could finish an essay or a story and I could unplug it and then listen to something else for a while and then plug it back in, and I really enjoyed this. 4 stars for Ghost Dogs. So now we finally come to the end of this video. No, I've been all over the place. I hope you've liked sitting out on my back porch with me. It is a beautiful day, and we're not quite to winter yet. We're kind of at fall, so I need a sweater, but not if I'm out inside the sun. Anywho, I'm hoping that I will have more books to talk about next week. Hopefully, The Woman in the Window will be better than the few reviews that I read. I'll let you know what I think about it. I appreciate you for sticking with me on this journey. Happy reading!